Anh em ơi!
Welcome to the ANHEM Podcast.
Welcome back anh em to the ANHEM Podcast, episode 5.
Yay! We're back with another English episode!
Woo!
So weird. Okay, well, yeah, finally, the anticipation is over. We're back with an English episode. With
Another one. Sorry.
Yeah, of course, it's another one.
Just
So
had to
that's
do
why
it.
it's back.
For the memes.
Sure. Oh, well, whatever. Well, anyway, the topic today is kind of interesting as well. It's something that I personally watch a lot of videos on it, but improve nothing. So, well, I'll let Erik introduce the topic.
We are talking about why do we procrastinate today.
Yeah, we procrastinated talking about procrastination.
She is watching procrastination videos and then procrastinating or not doing the procrastination tips.
That's a lot of procrastination.
More procrastination.
Okay.
But we don't procrastinate on our podcast videos, you know that.
We kind of do.
Shh, keep it a secret.
Okay. Well, let's just get on with it, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So the $1,000,000 questions. Why we procrastinate?
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
Well, I think just before I answer the question, it's just like, I think this is something that's so relevant to all of us, isn't it?
True. Yeah.
From I think from such a long time, we've been doing it since we were kids. We were given an assignment or some homework, and our mind tends to find something else, like, I don't know, maybe a toy car or YouTube videos, procrastinating. I don't know.
A toy car.
A toy car. I don't know. I don't remember why I got distracted by. I don't know. I could be swinging my pen. I could be distracted for hours. I'm like a hyper kid, so yeah. And
Well, now that you mentioned when we were kids, actually, I didn't. Well, when I was in, like, let's just say middle school, I was actually still like keeping up with all the work.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why,
but I definitely feel like in middle school I kept up with my work more, but
Yeah.
it started to come off around like maybe grade 9, grade 10.
True, yeah.
When
like
assignments
you
and
get
tasks
into high
started getting
school.
harder.
Yeah.
There you go.
Things started to get like
yeah.
serious and all that. And you're like,
So I
"Ah."
think that starts with our first key point
Yeah.
of like the question that you just asked.
Yeah.
We run away from our problems. We run away from tasks that are difficult.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? And then that kind of trend keeps building on as we enter higher levels or more difficult levels of work and study, right? So university. I watched this TED Talk video. I'm not sure if you also saw it. It's called Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. So did you see that?
I didn't.
So that man, he was saying that if there was an assignment this long, you would plan to do your assignment bit by bit, right? Like a staircase, right?
Yeah, of course.
But it always ended up being like this
Yeah,
at the end.
you always do. Like you
Always.
wait until the day before the deadline, and
Yeah.
then you're just like, oh.
Panic, right? Panic mode. You try to get it done. So, and does it also happen when you work?
I mean, it depends on the work, actually.
Depends on your boss too.
No,
But that doesn't matter. But it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah, no, it depends mostly on the work. So
Yeah.
actually, that brings me to my more specific question. Like, so what actually motivates you to do what you do? Like
Right.
that thing that you're procrastinating.
Uh-huh.
What do you think is like motivating you to do it? Why do you do it?
I think that so let's give an example, right? As of recent times, I felt like I'm able to complete my essays, my uni essays more efficiently, and that comes down to like having a lot of love for what you do.
So you love writing a 2,000
I love
words essay?
writing a 2,000 word essay with that topic being very relevant to what I've
True.
experienced. So
Yeah.
because I remember 1 year ago, well, like we've been studying online for a year now, right?
Yeah.
So 1 year ago, I struggled so hard to do research, and I would just, like, I would be like on my laptop for 30 minutes, and I would look at my bed. I was like,
Like,
that looks more comfortable, right?
Of course.
It looks more comfortable. But then I think that ever since I started experimenting with some business projects during the summer off, and I got that kind of like practical experience where I'm like, oh, okay, so
Like when it's relevant.
yeah, where it's relevant. You know, like you go to work, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, like this is how you do
helpful.
this is how you do a startup, or these are the procedures that you need to do. And luckily it was related to my degree and also the subjects I'm doing now. So when the assignment is given, I'm like, oh, okay, I've gone through this already. I understand this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it felt exactly like when I was doing my business. I was like, oh, it feels the same thing. I understand this. I feel like I'm more motivated to do it.
Yeah, like when you feel like it's you have experience in it already.
Yeah, I have experience
You've
in
been through all that.
Yeah.
And like with the researching and stuff too, like you have the experience, like you have so much time prior to like that, and you are familiar with the researching, and you don't feel like it's like intimidating anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're more motivated to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I think so. Yeah, kind of. Like I used to procrastinate to the point that if it's due the morning after, I'll do it that night. Like literally, it's my first year. Like my entire first year, if it's due in like 10 a.m., I'll start doing it at like 8 p.m. the night before.
Yeah.
I still finished it. It sucked, but I finished it.
Yeah, and then you do the all-nighters and you feel like crap after that.
Of course, yeah. The next day is always like the worst.
And then you sleep for the whole next day, basically.
I used to have days when I had to go to uni for like tutorials and all that.
I sometimes skip tutorials.
I had to, like it was
attendance based, right?
Yeah, it was like attendance like required. So I had to come. I looked like a zombie. So don't do that, people. But yeah, but now that I have experience in researching, I don't really like it doesn't scares me that much anymore. I started to do it like 3 days before. I still procrastinate.
I think we're always procrastinating on something. Like okay, I would say that my efficiency has gone up, but I still feel like I'm always procrastinating on something. You know, like if you're given a task or something, like probably the best way probably to just go and do it right away, rather than like, oh, okay, let me note that down. And then when you go, like, you know, like if you're like finished studying and you go off home and you're just like resting, and you just kind of like, and then you just kind of like, you just kind of like, you know, kind of like, you disappear, you melt into non-existence.
Well, actually, I personally, I think when we procrastinate, it depends more on like the nature of the work.
Right.
Like, if it's something that you actually love doing, you usually don't procrastinate. Like, I always procrastinate when it comes to like studying, like when you do research, writing reports, all that stuff. But I don't really procrastinate when I go to work and things like that, because I actually enjoy going to work.
Right.
I like working, but I don't like studying.
I feel I don't know. Maybe you guys at home can tell us in the comments below if you guys ever procrastinate when you guys are working, or does procrastination just happen as like during study periods? Because I feel like for us, right, that we definitely procrastinate more during study when we feel like something's not relevant to us, or we aren't given enough information and we don't have insight into it.
True. Yeah.
So is that what you would consider the biggest demotivation for you, when you don't understand something and you cannot connect with it?
Well, yeah, I think it's like that with everyone. When you're not connected to it, obviously you won't have that much motivation to like actually get onto it and do it.
So you can't like visualize what you're doing.
Yeah,
right?
like you don't really know what you're doing. No one can actually say that I'm motivated to do what I don't know what's going on.
And then you don't recognize why you're doing it for, right? You don't have a purpose, right?
Well, actually, if you have to put a purpose on it, you can put a purpose on it.
But
still, like, it's not something you're interested in.
Right. If it's not big enough of a good value for you, then you're just like,
why do I have to do it? Like, why do I need a college, like, university degree? Because my parents want one. Oh, why not?
Oh, well.
So, do you think fear is, like, a great demotivation? Like the most, I don't know, like the biggest aspect of demotivation, like fear?
Yeah, I think so. I think for sure. I think it's something that happens subconsciously with everybody when you procrastinate. I definitely feel like, because like other than procrastination with assignments and essays, I also procrastinate on replying messages. So there's something.
You're scared of replying to messages or what?
I feel like there is there is something about notifications to me.
Oh.
Like, I always have this feeling that when I receive an email or a message notification, that there's something somebody's asking for me, somebody's asking for me, and then sometimes I'm just like doing my thing. I'm like, maybe I'm working on something else, or maybe I'm in the gym or something, and I see that notification. I'm just like, man, not now.
Something's required again.
Yeah.
I don't like when things are required. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think it's what happens to most kids. Like when they're required to do something, they want it to do it less. Like if you don't tell them that they have to do it, they'll actually do it.
It's kind of in the mindset,
Yeah, but when you say like, oh, you have to do A, B, C, they're like, oh, I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it, right?
When
Like,
they
you need to eat your vegetables, and they're like, no.
Like no. But if you don't say anything, they'll actually eat the vegetables.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of really it's contradicting in the way that it works, huh? So I really don't know how would you explain that?
I think it's like subconsciously people want to have their own like decision, like they want to make their own decision and like decide what to do. No one can say like I like to be told to do something. Well, actually no, my sis. Well, I won't say my sister.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I won't want to say my sister wants to be told what to do, but she actually doesn't want to be like more in charge.
Right.
She's someone who like wants to like have her tasks like laid out, like people telling her like they need A, they need B, they need something from her, and then she'll do it. She doesn't want to be the one pointing fingers and like, oh, you do this, you do that. So yeah, maybe some people do, but I feel like for most people we would like to like control, like would
be in
like
control
to be,
of what you do.
be in control of what they want to do and what they do. So.
But then most of the time we aren't in control of it.
True.
Like, essays, obviously, or if your boss gives you a task or assignment.
Well, yeah, I think when you're younger, then true, because you actually don't have the experience to be in control. Actually, like if they were to give you now like the control over everything, like just do everything you want to do, then I don't think we have enough experience to actually be in charge.
Yeah.
So that's why we need to like have the time to experience things, to learn things from like people with like older with more experience, stuff like that. So yeah, until we're like matured enough.
Right.
I don't know when that will happen.
So then with that, then how do you find yourself kind of like facing those fears or those?
Well, because I actually have to do it. I mean.
So it's still kind of like you're still kind of forcing yourself a bit.
Yeah,
right?
you have to. I mean, let's just say like writing essays and reports and doing assignments, for example. Well, we have to. We don't have a chance to say no. We can't just go up to the tutor and say, I'm not going to write because I don't want to. We have to. So, yeah, it's scary, but like when closing to the deadline, we know that we have to do whatever it takes to finish it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's kind of the point why they make it like compulsory to do those assignments.
Would you say that there are any distractions contributing to your procrastination, like
actual
your phone, or maybe you see maybe you're on your phone and your friends are kind of like going out and you're like, I have this assignment, it's an exam week, but my friends are going out, and you just kind of like sit there for like a while and just like imagining it'll be so good if I go out.
What if I'm going out right now and don't have to do this? Well, maybe I don't know. I actually distract myself because I don't want to do assignments that much. I have an assignment today, like, actually, let's just skip the assignment things. I have an exam.
Right.
So, obviously, we have exams, right? But I remember last semester when I had exams so late, like, everybody finished all of their exams already. They were, like, going out, enjoying their lives. I haven't even gotten to my exams time yet. But I still go out with everyone. They're like, why are you studying? I'm like, I don't want to. I seriously don't want to.
You got FOMO, a bit FOMO.
Well, actually, no. I can stay at home and do nothing. But, I mean, like, I'm not doing nothing anyway, so why not just go out?
Right.
I distract myself so that I won't have to do the work that I have to do. And then I think part of why I do it because I don't really care about the results. But if you do care about the results, then you won't be like me. But I don't. Like, all I need is to pass.
Right. So there's definitely a bit of self-control and self-awareness in there too, isn't there?
True. Yeah. So actually, I won't say that fear is like the biggest demotivation to me. It's there, but it's not the biggest. I just no interest is the biggest demotivation to me. Like,
so then the big question is, how do you generate interest for yourself?
Sure. Well.
Right, because
I mean, I would say, so to stop procrastination in the future, like when it's like actually important stuff that you should do, then I think just do what you love.
Do what you love what you do.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm actually like aiming for in the future. Like I would actually find something that I generally enjoy doing, so I won't feel like it's work. So then I would just automatically stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't think I can find anything that could generate interest for me in studying.
Right.
I won't. Like, I just won't.
Uh-huh.
There were like weeks and content and assignments that were actually practical to me, and I found those. I wrote an essay the other day, and it was actually very helpful. Like, the topic was very practical and relevant and all that.
And you enjoyed that?
Yeah, and I had experience, but I enjoyed. I actually didn't enjoy entirely, but I mean, I didn't hate that assignment that much.
So it felt better than the previous ones.
Yeah,
right?
but even with that, studying in general to me, it's still very like discouraging. I really, really, really do not like studying.
Right. I just, I don't know. I generally have the same mindset as you, where I think studying, like, I don't enjoy studying as much as I do doing practical work out there. And I also do hope to get my uni studies done as soon as possible.
Just get me the degree.
But,
Get me out of school.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I think that back then, a friend of mine said that, like, he gave me an advice. If you say yes to something, you will say no to something else. So I'm just like, if you apply that mindset into everything, you're like, okay, if you say yes to not doing the assignment now, then, you know, or if you say yes to going party now, then you are saying no to your assignment, or no to your grades, or no to your degree, or no to the amount of time you have, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's like a trade-off.
It is a trade-off, and then I think that goes really deep. It starts happening really deep there.
It does.
It goes all the way up to your cerebral brain cells and stuff. You're like, okay, how do I manage my time now? How do I be efficient? And then you start doing. I think I started doing tricks with my mind, where I'm like, because I realized it was my mindset that was the most important thing. That fear, the element of fear, is, like you said, probably not the most important thing, but it does happen because you allow it to happen in a certain sense. You know, like, you can jinx something, right?
Yeah.
So if you tell yourself that, oh, I'm going to fail this, then chances you're probably going to fail. But if you always keep a bit of hope that, okay, it's going to work out, I think it works subconsciously, because you're telling yourself that, and no matter what happens out there, your mindset is very so strong already. You're like determined, okay, this is gonna work out, and you transcend that through yourself. That's also one of the things I think that I've been able to learn from a lot of people when I'm at my workplace. It's like,
wow, I personally just realized why I passed all of those units, because I keep thinking that.
You keep thinking they're like,
and I did.
If you think about it down to like the crucial moments, right? Like right before an exam, or like right at the cram time, you're always like, you're really worried. You're still really worried.
Yeah.
But you always tell yourself, like, you kind of push it to the corner. You're like, okay, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna pass this.
You're gonna pass. No worries.
You're gonna pass. I always tell my friends that you're gonna pass. If you're worried, you can be worried, but you're gonna pass. You need to believe that. And
50% is still a pass.
And yeah, exactly. And then like even 49.9 is still a pass. So you have to believe in even that small percentage.
Technically, if it's 49.9 and they put it down to 49, it's not a pass. No, but
usually teachers don't do that.
I had teachers who put me like 73 point something, and then it got to 63 point something, and then it got to 64. But 65 is a credit, right?
Yeah. So
they don't
put you up. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Always playing games with you. don't trust education. Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Trust
I'm sorry. I'm joking. It's just a joke.
Macquarie, kick him out.
Hey, don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do that. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think that when you're able to kind of like tell yourself that, okay, I'm saying yes to this, then the next question is, you're like, okay, do I need it? And I think that's when you ask yourself, do you need it? You kind of go into like your time management. You're like, okay, why don't I just get, like, I convince myself, why don't you just get it done now? And then later you don't have to worry about it.
Well, yeah, if everyone can tell themselves that and actually do that, then there won't be the term procrastination anymore.
Yeah.
But we were like, why don't we just do it now? Like, why do we have to do it now?
Yeah.
We want to do it now.
I think that we're lost in the concept of that we have a lot of time.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
So and I think that it then kind of leads us to like, okay, maybe let's not be responsible for a few minutes, or let's not be accountable for what we do here.
I don't even give myself that excuse. I don't know why. It's just like something wrong with me. Just I know.
I don't think you should put it on yourself, because I think it's something.
I'm just saying, like, there's something different. I'd say wrong is not like the right word choice, but there's something different about me. Is that I know that I don't have a lot of time. I just still don't do it. like I know the deadline is there. I know the time is like closing in, but I still choose to do nothing. I just choose to go on YouTube and watch a bunch of videos and go to sleep. Don't know why.
Because it's more enjoyable. That gives you more interest, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think that we, maybe it's the way that our minds are wired, but we always kind of like crave for the short-term enjoyments.
Yeah, true.
Because if you get the essay done, then you will have all this time to like go party, right?
Yeah, but
then we can never see ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we tend to rely on like the short-term cravings that we have.
Yeah.
That satisfies ourselves. But then we still start stressed in the end, right? Oh, the essay's coming.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any fixing to my procrastination, but I think you're on the right track. Like, you will have like that mindset thing.
I think that, like, for real, like, I'm still struggling a lot. I'm not saying that it makes me any better or anything. I think it's just a way of helping, but a lot of days, it's, you know, like, you have your days, so sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I don't know, for me, right? So I kind of need to put myself into a position where I find myself willing to work. So that can be like going to a cafe, right?
Yeah.
Or
True, when you feel like it's
when you feel like it, yeah, like I know for sure, because recently, like, as of recent times, I'm trying to wake up at like 6 or 7. I used to wake up at 10 a.m. a lot, like most of the time, almost all the time. Maybe sometimes I'm sleeping to noon. So, and then thing is, when I wake up, by that time, I'm like, like, it really does feel different if you sleep early and you wake up early. You feel more refreshed. So by the time I'm up at like 10, 11, I'm groggy and, you know, like, you sloppy.
Yeah.
And then you go and you have your brunch. And then when you're done, you're like, oh crap, it's like, half a day gone already.
Yeah, it's like 2 p.m.
And then it's like 2 p.m. and you're like, oh, you know, day's gone. Why don't we just watch something and let it slide over?
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Why
It's
you
2
work?
p.m. Yeah, you know, why stress yourself? Yeah? Why stress yourself out of work? So
I get why people wake up early now.
there you go. I think that, I'm recommending it to all you guys at home. If you guys feel like you want to give yourself a boost, or maybe create a bit of a change in your pattern, then mix it up. Try to wake up early, try to do something, sleep earlier. It really does feel good, like, for real, guys. I'm not an old man, okay? I'm like 21, okay? I'm not an old man, I'm 21. I'm giving just you guys what I experienced, for real.
Yeah.
Sleep early, wake up early. I go morning jogs.
Yeah, and I just realized, just try to do something you love in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, when you wake up, do something that you actually enjoy. Maybe, I think that could be a great way to start off your day, like doing something you love, and then, like, at the end of it, you feel so, like, energized, and like, you want to get on with your day, and then you can, like, gradually add in, like,
gradually add in
assignments. But then when you feel like worked up and all that, then maybe that feels better when you do the assignments. Like, you feel more productive.
Yeah. So
I might try that.
Yeah, for sure, give it a try.
I just gave them an advice that I haven't tried yet, but well,
but
we'll see.
I think you recognize that
Yeah,
like
I
it gives you kind of like this different thought, right? Like, okay, you could because if you wake up earlier, right? Say you wake up at 10, then you're done with lunch by 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Then you've lost half a day. But if you wake up at 6 or 7, you have 4 extra or 5 extra hours.
Yeah. It feels like the day
It feels like
so much longer.
you have so much longer. While the sleep time is the same. You basically just sleep at the same time. And I recognize I procrastinate a lot at night. At night.
This is nighttime. You just want to relax.
You just want to relax, right? You just want to, I don't know, call your girlfriend or go out with your friends or spend family time.
Yeah.
So that morning time and then that time after lunch is when I'm like, that time after lunch is when I'm super focused. Like the afternoon
when you get
period,
your work
I'm
done.
super focused. I can sit in a cafe and work for maybe 4 or 5 hours straight.
Wow.
So I grind the essays down there. Sometimes we have late night meetings, but that's alright. It's a meeting, so I'm not really thinking too much. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to.
You shouldn't say it's a meeting and you're not thinking too much. You should think in a meeting.
Sorry, guys. Not good business advice. the curtains just disagree. No. But yeah, I don't know. Have you ever asked for help from anybody about in terms of how you think you can deal with procrastination, or what relevant tips that have been given to you do you think are effective?
Like the thing you just gave me, I think is effective. And
Right.
I would like to add that if waking up at like 6 or 7 sounds a bit too extreme for you, then maybe try out waking up like just a bit earlier, like gradually add it into your routine. Like try and wake up at 8 one day. Maybe like if you normally wake up at 10, then try to wake up at 9 and then 8 and then try to get to 6. Because if you're normally waking up at 10 and the day after you were like, I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m., you're not. Like you're gonna set an alarm, you're gonna wake up when the alarm goes off and then turn it off and then go to sleep again. So don't do that, because I did that and it didn't.
Just do it, guys. Just do it. Just do it.
But yeah, maybe have friends, like those who are doing it with you, like
Right,
have
yeah,
company.
for sure, I think so, yeah.
Like you guys can motivate each other, like wake each other up.
Yeah.
Or I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Because thing is, when I did those early morning runs, I always had a running
Yeah,
buddy
like
with
a
me.
buddy, yeah.
Like a buddy. You know, like, yeah, it's just like, oh, hey, I'm up. You up, and then
Yeah, you are up.
yeah,
Get
I think
up.
yeah, and then once you you start doing it for a
Like,
while, your body gets into the flow, right? So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, I'm ready to bounce every morning. I'm like up, and then yeah, it just becomes easier because at first you're like you can't force yourself, right? But you really have to force yourself into it a bit.
Like when you're starting out, then you should.
Like for real, guys, if it's time to go to sleep, drop everything. For real, drop everything. Don't think about it. Don't like, oh, this content is so interesting, you know, if you're on your phone. Because here, let me tell you something. If you look at your phone and you're on your social media and you look at all these posts of these cute girls, or cute guys, do you really remember them tomorrow? You're not going to remember them tomorrow.
You're not going to remember them like 30 minutes after
Yeah,
you
exactly,
scroll
or
through
maybe
them.
just like 5 seconds. He's cute, all right.
Hey, don't even worry about it.
All right, you're gone, right?
Bye.
You're gone, that's it. So it basically doesn't do anything for you, but the waking up early does do something for you.
True.
For your mental health too. Like long-term wise, you're not gonna have to deal with anxiety, stress, and I don't know, maybe try it for a month, tell me how you feel. Maybe we can tell them in the podcast later. Because
check back in a month and see how we're doing.
Yeah.
Motivate me, people.
Yeah, because I'm feeling better. Exercise and waking up early, I think that's a good combination. And you know, you go outside, you get morning sun.
Yeah,
you get
like fresh air.
Fresh
It
air.
actually does work. Like if you wake up and you go out and you just breathe, like have like 3 breaths in, it does make a difference. I don't do that well with waking up early, but I do like going out. Like I'm going out on walks. I don't have to. It's not like running. Like you don't have to do it fast.
Yeah,
I just
you don't
go
have to
on
do it
walks
fast.
and I don't really put like a timestamp on it. I can go for however long I want. And I was like before I was in a phase when I was in a pretty dark place, like I was pretty depressed. So every night, actually I go out at night. I was in Australia, so it wasn't that like dodgy. But yeah, I went out for walks at like 9:30, 10 p.m. And I find myself after I've done it for like a week that I look forward to that time, like that time when I go out and then
right, and then there's just a lot of peace, right?
And it's just enjoying the air outside,
Yeah.
even just going on walks alone. Like when I started out, I wasn't on walks alone. Like I went out with a friend, but afterwards I found myself doing it every day. I went out for a walk every day at 10 p.m., which I should probably switch to like morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I'll try that again now, because I stopped when I went back to Vietnam, because going out alone at 10 p.m. in Vietnam when you're a girl, it's not really recommended. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Not in your Hanoi city.
Yeah, true. Not in the capital region.
Nah. But yeah, I don't know, like, in a way, the way that you just mentioned that, I feel like it really has a lot, like procrastination really has to do a lot with not just what you're doing when you see the assignment, but what you do, everything around your life, and how it's like really connected to one of the episodes we talked before, the mental health. How like, I think I mentioned to everybody that also during the quarantine time where it's just like you're really sad and you kind of like try to do things for yourself and you're trying to find your self-love and self-worth there. And these kind of activities, I think you realize there's a lot of value to your life, and you're really lucky, and you start to be really compassionate for everybody. And yeah, it's like you said there. I think that I was gonna say where you said that you're gonna try to do it like a morning thing now. I'm like, yeah, so a lot of people like to see the sunset, right? But not a lot of people like can see the sunrise because you don't put the effort in to see it.
Yeah.
So it's just basically trying to put in the effort, and then once you start seeing the sunrise all the time, I think you enjoy it so much that you cannot come back to seeing the sunset, because
you still can.
You still can, but I think
it's the sunrise are beautiful.
Sunrise are beautiful though, and it's just really worth the peace in the morning. I think that when everybody's not awake yet, that's really nice.
Yeah, we're actually trying to get everybody awake, but
yeah,
there is that peacefulness in the morning that I think it's a good way like to start your day off with like some like peace, inner peace, outer peace.
Yeah.
I don't know, doing what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having that extra like few hours really makes a difference.
It really boosts your mindset. It's like, oh, I have more time now.
Yeah.
So
you feel like the day is so long and you can get so much done in just one day.
Yeah. And so you just like, oh, I have all this time now. Like, I can get all this assignments done. And then you can actually take things more slow. You don't have to rush it all the time.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts you want to add? I think we've wrapped up a lot of difficulties. Like we just talked about how we felt, and then we
wrap it up for ourselves.
Yeah.
People really check back with me in a month. Like really motivates me to do it, guys. Because
find somebody to do with you. I think find somebody to do with you is
Anybody in Hanoi want to go for a run? But actually, I don't really live near people, so like I live far away.
Yeah.
So.
But
we'll
just
see.
anybody watching the podcast, I don't know anything. Running club, yoga club, walking club, biking club.
Nice.
Like morning yoga.
I should start a club.
You should start a club. People join the club. Promote her IG. Her IG here.
I have no intention to becoming like influencers or whatever, but yeah, I do think like finding like a group of people or just 1-2 people doing it with me it's gonna help a lot.
It's gonna help a lot. Yeah.
Well, just I think that's all the content we have for the day.
Today's episode.
Yeah, procrastination, but look, we're still here.
We're still here. We hope you guys found it helpful. It's always a pleasure to really share and talk about these topics where I think that it's kind of obvious, but also maybe it's difficult to speak about, or you speak about it and then you don't really find a way around it. So I think, really also reach out for help and send us a message, send me a message, send Kaitlyn a message, see how we're doing, see if we can give you any tips,
I think that's like the whole purpose of not just the podcast, but our society, MOV in general. We want to be here to be like a friend to everyone. Like we just want to be here for your company. So you know that everything you do, you're not going to be alone in it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We're helping each other out. So.
So yeah, just to sum up the episode, it's just basically, do what you love, be responsible and be accountable.
Yeah.
And
Find a way to motivate yourself.
Yeah, find a way to motivate yourself. Like if you're accountable and you do what you love, and I think you will find that motivation, and just do it. Just do it. Just go and do it.
Do it.
Just go do it. Like don't think about it, because I think that a lot of the procrastination comes when you have a second thought.
Yeah.
Like if you're given an assignment first, you're like, oh okay, the assignment's about this, but then your second thought is like, I should do it later.
Yeah.
So instead, maybe if you start something right at that moment, then it kind of gives you a head start.
Yeah.
And then later on, when you come back to the assignment, you're like, oh, okay, I have something started already.
Yeah, like you've done something.
You've done something. You don't feel like you're like rock bottom. And I think that when you're rock bottom is when it's hardest to start.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing.
Yeah.
It's like having no money and having some money.
Yeah.
That's
a big difference.
That's a big difference.
Just do it.
Yeah. Try to help yourself with your mindset, guys. Encourage others. Spread love.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us, and give us a like and a share if you enjoyed this
Subscribe too,
content.
please.
Yeah, subscribe to us. Just do it. Do it now.
Just do it. Do it now. Don't procrastinate. Comment now.
Yeah,
Down
right,
below.
Right now.
Also follow her. Again,
Follow
editor.
both of us.
Put IG here.
Yeah, follow our Facebook and Instagram account at MOV Macquarie University, and just follow our content, because we do have interesting content, people.
Yeah.
Like other than the podcast. So
Yeah.
give us a follow, give us a subscribe, and yeah, just all in all, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
See you next time.
Yeah, take care, guys. Bye bye.